WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Visit Bloomington. With over 350 restaurants to choose from, Bloomington, Indiana is truly a food lover's paradise. Go to visitbloomington.com to discover what suits your taste.
Are you interested in reaching the WFYI audience while supporting the programming you love? Become a sponsor today. Learn more at wfyi.org/sponsor.
What we're going to do right here is go back, way back into time.
This is Butch Slaughter, and you're listening to the echoes of Indiana Avenue. Welcome to my neighborhood, the Avenue. I grew up here, and each week I'll be sharing the sounds and stories of the people that made the Avenue great. Welcome back to the Avenue. On February 12th at 9 p.m., WFYI's Channel 20 will broadcast the first episode in Henry Louis Gates Jr.'s 4-part documentary series, Gospel. The series will dig deep into the history of black gospel music, from Mahalia Jackson to Kirk Franklin. This week, on Echoes of Indiana Avenue, we'll celebrate the release of this series by sharing an hour of classic Naptown gospel music, including quartets, choirs, and songwriters that made history in the Circle City. We'll start with music from the Sacred Four. Their 1975 single, Somebody's Watching You, is prized by gospel music collectors, and original copies have sold for over $1,000.
Careful how you treat your neighbor. Careful how you treat your friend. Same thing you say about them children. You're gonna hear those same words again. Let me tell you this, you listen.
Somebody's watching you.
God got his eye on.
Somebody's watching you.
See everything.
That was the Sacred Four with Somebody's Watching You. Up next, we'll hear music from the Stovall sisters. They began performing on the Avenue during the 1950s under the name The Valley Wonders. From their 1971 album, this is the Stovall sisters with Sweeping Through the City. The King James Version were one of the most unique gospel acts to emerge from the Avenue. They mixed gospel music with psychedelic rock and funk. The King James Version were known for their wild live performances. The band appeared on stage in biblical clothing. We'll listen to their 1971 single, He's Coming.
Now don't you ever get to faith, be sad. Get to faith, lean on him. Faith when the times are bad. Faith and the day comes. Faith when you're in down. Faith and a river of trouble. Faith and a thought to surround. Faith just hold on. He's coming. Hold on. He's coming. Hold on. He's coming. Hold on. He's coming. Everybody's coming. He's on his way.
That was the King James Version with He's Coming. On this week's show, we're celebrating the release of the new PBS series, Gospel, by sharing an hour of classic Naptown gospel music. Up next, we'll hear music from Al Hobbs and the Music Masters. From their 1972 album, Gospel Music is the Thing. This is I'm Yours.
Long time ago, I lived in sin. I couldn't find no peace within, but I told the Lord, I'm yours. I remember when He saved my soul. Oh, He filled me with His holy, holy ghost. Oh, yeah, I'm yours.
That was Al Hobbs and the Music Masters with I'm Yours. In 2019, WFYI's Kyle Long spoke with Reggie Gammon, a co-founder of the Music Masters. The Music Masters came together in the Avenue neighborhood. Reggie worked at General Hospital alongside fellow vocalists James Houghton and Paul Whedon. According to Reggie, the trio would harmonize together on the job.
Well, James was working at the General Hospital, too. I didn't know him. He was one of the guys carrying the carts and patients different places and everything. And so, anyway, we had a little room off to the side that we would wait on accidents or somebody gets sick. And so me and Paul, we began to harmonize all the time, and we had nurses and all. It was a slow day. We were singing this song, "Precious Lord, Take My Hand," and so James Houghton came through the door, and he stood in the door, and so all of a sudden there was a third part came in at the top. We turned around, boy, and it was James Houghton. And, boy, we enjoy that. And we was wondering, where you been? He said, man, I was just walking past and I heard you guys, man. He said, I had to get some of this, man. He said, y'all don't mind it. I said, man, it was all right, and everything. So that's when I met James Houghton.
It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's sure gonna rain. It's gonna rain. It's sure gonna rain. Now Noah, tell the children it's gonna rain. It's gonna rain.
That was Al Hobbs and the Music Masters with Rain. On this week's show, we're celebrating the release of the new PBS series, Gospel, by sharing an hour of classic Naptown gospel music. In 1976, Ty Scott Records was founded in Indianapolis. Ty Scott is among the most successful record labels ever formed in Naptown and one of the longest-running black-owned gospel record labels in the country. Up next, we'll hear a classic Ty Scott release from Naptown's Robert Turner and the Silver Hearts. From 1982, this is Hold Out.
When you feel you've come to the end of your road, hold out. Hold out, just a little while longer. Seems like you can't carry your heavy load, hold out. Hold out, just a little while. Everybody ought to hold out. Everything is gonna work out.
Stay tuned. Echoes of Indiana Avenue will return with more classic Naptown gospel music after this short break.
Are you interested in reaching the WFYI audience while supporting the programming you love? Become a sponsor today. Learn more at WFYI.org/sponsor.
This is Butch Slaughter, and you're listening to the echoes of Indiana Avenue. On this week's show, we're celebrating the release of the new PBS series Gospel by sharing an hour of classic Naptown gospel music. WFYI's Channel 20 will broadcast the first episode of Gospel on February 12th at 9 p.m. The series will dig deep into the history of black gospel music from Mahalia Jackson to Kirk Franklin. Up next, we'll hear music from the Traveling Inner Lights. This is Let's Have a Family Prayer.
Lord, why don't you come on, Lord, let's have a family prayer. Oh, come on, everybody, come on, Lord God Almighty, let's have a family prayer.
The Blakey Specials were a long-running Naptown gospel act founded by the keyboardist and songwriter Eugene Blakey. Up next, we'll hear their 1976 recording, Jesus Bore a Cross.
Oh, Jesus bore a cross on Calvary, and he never said a mumbling word. Jesus bore a cross on Calvary, and he never said a mumbling word. I got a cross, and you got a cross. You got to pick it up and carry all your soul be lost. You got to bear that cross for Jesus every day. I can see him as he struggles on his way to Calvary, with a cross upon his shoulder, bearing the burdens for you and me.
That was the Blakey Specials with Jesus Bore a Cross, recorded at New Palestine, Indiana's 700 West Records. Last year, WFYI's Kyle Long spoke with two members of the Blakey Specials, Henry Hinch and Skeet Kennedy.
What do you think the legacy of the Blakey Specials is? Or what did you take from it?
What I took from it is love. I don't think I could ever want it to be in another group other than the Blakey Specials, because our minds and the harmony. So what I take from it is just love. That's how I'm going to live with it. It's always going to be in my heart. The Blakey Specials will always be in my heart.
Skeet, do you want to say anything about Eugene Blakey, your time with this band, what you took away from it?
I thank God for Eugene Blakey.
Mm-hmm.
The caliber of musician he was. He's a great musician, a great songwriter.
Yeah.
You know, I thank God for the schooling that I got from him. Like if I got there early, he would be playing the piano and he would show me things he was doing on the piano. He was a great vocalist. The main thing I love was the spirit everybody carried and had about themselves. When nobody trying to be better than nobody.
Mm-hmm.
When nobody trying to outdo nobody, we came together, we sung together.
You love God, we love to sing, yeah.
You know what your key was and what you was singing. And the main thing, in God we trust.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, love, peace, joy, and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we'll hear a classic single from the Wandering Travelers of Indianapolis. They scored a national gospel hit in 1962 with Jesus is the Heavyweight Champion of the World. Let's listen. That was the Wandering Travelers of Indianapolis with Jesus is the Heavyweight Champion of the World, released on the Peacock Records label in 1962. That song was written by the band's guitarist, M.L. Allen, a legendary figure in Indianapolis gospel music. WFYI's Kyle Long recently spoke with Allen, and they discussed his roots in music.
I was born in a place called Delta, Louisiana, right across the river from Vicksburg, Mississippi.
When did you come to Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, when did I come to Indianapolis? I think I was 12 years old when I went to Indianapolis.
In what year were you born?
Now, I was born in 1936.
Tell me about what got you into music at a young age.
Okay, well, I started in music. It was blues, what you call it, down there. And there's a guy named B.B. King and Elmo James. Yeah, they played. Elmo was my uncle's. We were related, but he was a famous musician, guitar player. And that's how I started with that. But then I like country music, and I used to listen to the Grand Ole Opry. That was coming out of Nashville, I think.
Allen also shared the inspiration behind Jesus is the heavyweight champion of the world.
There was a recording coming out of Houston, Texas called Peacock Records. And we did a recording for them. And a song I wrote called Jesus the Heavyweight Champ. They played it on Randy's Record Shop out of Nashville, Tennessee, one Sunday night. And they said they got so many calls. Gene Noble, that's the guy that disc jockey there, said, I'm going to play your song the night, that's the next Sunday. It's because I played it and I got so many calls. Well, I'm just saying the success of what I was doing.
What inspired you to write that song?
What inspired me? Because I said that because who was in first place? I said Jesus. And round number one, there's God. He made the day and night. Boy, I haven't heard my records in a long time,
The Naptown music scene produced many great gospel songwriters, including my own cousin, Reverend Freeman. Up next, we'll hear a 1982 recording of his composition, I've Got a Light, as performed by James Cleveland and the Washington, D.C. chapter of the Gospel Workshop of America. That was James Cleveland and the Washington, D.C. chapter of the Gospel Music Workshop of America, performing I've Got a Light. That song was written by my cousin, Reverend Freeman. He recently spoke with WFYI's Kyle Long, and they discussed his work as a songwriter.
How many songs would you say you've written over the years? Do you have is it possible to make a counting?
Maybe 75, maybe 100.
Is there a handful of them that you could name off that you're particularly proud of, or that you think really did something out in the world that you're proud of?
Christ is the Hope. Recorded years ago, but I think it's prominent for what today is. The 23rd Psalm, an arrangement of the 23rd Psalm. That was done in 1967. It was recorded by the Gospel Workshop of America.
Do you still write? Is this something that's still part of your musical practice? Yeah.
Yes, I still write. I don't put it out often, but it's what I call Spirit brings it to me. And sometimes I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and get an idea. I think it's a gift from God. It just comes, and I try to do what God wants me to do with it.
Kenneth Woods was a legendary Naptown gospel keyboardist and songwriter. He passed away last year at the age of 94. Up next, we'll hear a 1963 version of his song, A Place Like That, recorded by Shirley Caesar and the Caravans.
Going where the chilly waters flow, no more. Going where the chilly waters flow, no more. Going where the chilly waters won't flow no more. They got a place like that somewhere on the other side. Going where I won't have to try no more, no more.
That was Shirley Caesar and the Caravans with A Place Like That, written by the Naptown gospel keyboardist and songwriter Kenneth Woods Jr. The composer and bandleader Beatrice Brown was a pioneer of gospel music in Naptown. Her group, Brown's Inspirational Singers, featured legendary gospel performers, including Della Reese and Raymond Raspberry, and Brown's songs were recorded by the gospel music icon Mahalia Jackson. Many prominent local entertainers performed with Beatrice Brown, including jazz vocalist Everett Greene. He shared his memories of Brown during an interview with Kyle Long.
Did you ever work with Beatrice Brown?
Sure did. I sang with B. Brown Singers.
Really? Yeah. Tell me about Beatrice Brown.
Yeah, that was my mom sang with them.
Okay.
And I don't know how I got involved with them. I guess because knowing Lila and Miss B and all them folks, well, come on and sing with us, So we travel a lot of places, man. We travel. Oh my God. We went to Wheeling, West Virginia, and we get to the church. Nobody's there. B said, listen, we came this far. We gonna sing, So they opened the church and put the speakers out. Man, before we finished, we had a full house of people, Because B. Brown was a special lady, man. She was a special lady.
Up next, we'll listen to Mahalia Jackson's 1963 recording of the Beatrice Brown composition, Without God, I Can Do Nothing.
Without God, my life would be rocky. Oh Lord, yes, like a ship without a sail.
That was Mahalia Jackson performing Without God, I Can Do Nothing. That song was written by the Indianapolis gospel music pioneer Beatrice Brown. On this week's show, we've been celebrating the release of the new PBS series Gospel by sharing an hour of classic Naptown gospel music. You can catch the first episode on February 12th at 9 p.m. We'll end with music from Al Hobbs and the Indianapolis Mass Choir. From 1982, this is Praise Him for Myself.
I don't need nobody to thank God for me. I don't need nobody to thank God for me. Oh, He's been good, so good. Yes, you have, Master. Oh, I don't need nobody to thank God for me. Oh, I don't need nobody to thank the Lord for me. He's been good, so good.
That's all the time we have this week. You can meet me here on the Avenue again next week, same time, same place. And you can find the Echoes of Indiana Avenue podcast on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you download your podcast. Echoes of Indiana Avenue is written and produced by Kyle Long and hosted and co-produced by me, Herman Butch Slaughter.
Nobody knows on Naptown, baby, like I do. Nobody knows on Naptown, baby, like I do. If you will stop and listen, I will tell you a thing or two.
WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Visit Bloomington. With over 350 restaurants to choose from, Bloomington, Indiana is truly a food lover's paradise. Go to visitbloomington.com to discover what suits your taste.